What the hell? What the hell was that? What? What? Hi, sugar pies. I don't know what's going on here. What? Oh. Sorry, sugar pies. Oh my god. I had some YouTube things going on in the background here. I ain't your mama. Hey, maybe that's a message. I ain't your mama. Sorry about that. Ain't like anybody's here live yet anyway, so don't matter. Anywho, hi, sugar pies. Sorry I'm late. I was busy in my room doing I got another Temu order today. You guys know I'm obsessed with Temu. But I got that today, and I got some cute decor for my room. I'll show you guys. Plus, and I'll show you guys the Easter buckets that I forgot to make a video and show you guys yesterday. But I'll show you the kids' Easter buckets too. I'll make a little video, a little 1-2 minute video or less, maybe a little short, whatever. But anywho, today I want to watch a video, and if people come in live, that's cool. But if not, some of you watch the playback. We all can't be here at the same time all the time. So it happens. I wish that by some magical way that we could all coordinate and be here at the same time, all of our schedules coordinating, but that's not going to happen. I hope the audio is okay. I hope so. But anyhow, today I want to watch a video with you guys on the Delphi case. And I don't know this channel, but he's very informative. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Nobody's in here anyway, so let's see. I know I should have saved it. I should have saved it to my whatchamacallit, watch later, but I totally forgot. I just liked it because I know I can go and view my liked videos. Uh, History, liked videos. Here we go. I want to watch this with you guys, and if the guy happens to see it, please don't strike me. I'm just a little channel, and I'm praising you. And I'll leave the link to his channel in the description when we're done too. Wow, YouTube's really not working. Okay, let's see. Bunch of stuff from Flow I watched. Here we go. The Paranormal Files is the name of the channel. I'll pop it up here in just a second too. I haven't checked out more of their stuff, but from what I watched this video here, I enjoyed it. They're respectful, and they handled this one with class and dignity. And empathy, which goes a long way for me. I quit watching Robot Girl Annie Elise because I feel like she doesn't have empathy for the kid. She literally is like a robot, and she's so far detached. And I know that to talk about this kind of shit, there has to be some form of detachment. I get it, but there's such a thing as too much. Okay, hang on here. Holy crap. Everything is okay. There's such a thing as too much. Like when you watch too much true crime stuff, all these murders and all whatever, you become too desensitized. And I just find that to be not good, in my opinion. When you can, like Zav bitch, Zav girl, oh, God, I hate her. I shouldn't say hate, but I strongly dislike her. She is so desensitized that she was willing to show a deceased child's body and put it behind a paywall for people to pay to see it. And that's fucking disgusting, in my opinion. You are so detailed. Oh my God. I don't want to look at crap like that. I'm sorry. Yeah, back in the day, we all did the whole rotten.com, remember? Where you could, and Faces of Death out of morbid curiosity. But that shit scarred me for life. I remember seeing a picture of a guy who had the top of his head lopped off by helicopter blades. And I can see it plain as day in my mind still to this day. And I'm like, oh my God, I wish I never would have looked at that. But anyway, yeah, these guys have empathy, dignity, and I have respect for them. Anyway, here's a little warning. Documentary contains discussions of murder, conspiracy, dark subjects, and contains frightening scenes and information. Viewer discretion is advised. But yeah, oh wow. This is kind of a bigger channel. Now, look at this. Look at these true crime or you people who think that you're some big time YouTubers. This right here, those are the numbers that you need to get to for me to be like, okay, you're a true, I have respect. Numbers don't matter. No, I shouldn't say it like that. But to be a legitimate, true YouTuber, like a successful one, someone famous, like you guys think you are, these are the numbers you have to obtain, not your little 10,000, couple thousand, whatever. But anyway, subscribe. This is the channel, and I will link it. This is a really long one. We might not get through it today. We might do half today, half tomorrow. But yeah, I'll, of course, be, giving my thoughts as we go, stopping and whatever, as you have to do. But anyway, let's watch this. Like I said, we might not get through it all today because this is long. And with me stopping and giving my commentary on it, yeah. But anyway.
Well, it's hard to believe that it's been 7 years since the brutal murders of Abby Williams and Libby German.
All this time and still no justice for the families of these girls. More than 2,500 days, to be exact, waiting for answers after the bodies of Abby and Libby were discovered near the Monon High Bridge in Delphi on February 14th, Valentine's Day, 2017.
The deaths of Libby German and Abby Williams in Delphi, as you know, remains unsolved. This case has sparked national and international attention.
She smiled all the time. All the time.
One of the hundreds of volunteer searchers found the bodies of Libby German and Abby Williams in a wooded area near Deer Creek. It is an area accessible only by foot or on horse. Well off the popular trails, the 13-year-olds were hiking.
My little boys, they're like, well, why can't we go?
These right here are the guys who, you know, did the video. Yeah, you will be seeing Colin and Connor. Oh, what? Those are some good, you know, Irish boy names. But anyway, those are the guys. So shout out to them. I know you're not going to see this, but props to you.
Go play in the front yard. And I'm like, well, because it's probably not really a good time right now to do that, you know. So you guys can play in the backyard and I can monitor it, but, you know, I've got 3 boys, so that's something I'm going to have to be very cognizant of now at this point.
The autopsies confirmed identities, but how these children were killed, the circumstances surrounding their death, police aren't talking about that. They say they don't want to say anything that could jeopardize this double homicide investigation.
And she had a grandpa that dearly loved her. And we all loved her.
Carrie,
God. See, that hurts my heart. When it has to do with children, it really, so much life to live, and some cowards, in my opinion. It was more than one guy took it. Took both of them. Ugh. This is called empathy. Anyway, okay, let's keep going.
She is proud that her daughter managed to record 2 key pieces of evidence with her cell phone: the audio and a picture of the prime suspect.
Directly to the killer, who may be in this room. We believe you are hiding in plain sight, and you want to know what we know, and one day you will. A question to you: what will those closest to you think of when they find out that you brutally murdered 2 little girls?
Yeah. Just my opinion. I don't know if the police know this yet, but I should really stop. I should just play it and give. Yeah. Well, I'm just going to keep playing.
2 children. Only a coward would do such a thing.
Police now say they're looking closely at a man who's behind a fake social media account.
Detectives.
That guy right there, I think, was the bait. He was the bait to get the girls in because of the fake social media profile. I mean, look at him. He looks like a chomo. I mean, not to be stereotyping anybody, but I mean, look at him. But anyway, I believe he was used to lure the girls to get there. And then the other guy was there to, like, I don't know, point them in the direction to go. And I think the girls were ambushed by more than one person. There was more than one person in on this. Just my opinion. This hasn't been proven, but just my opinion.
Office and the Indiana State Police have uncovered an online profile named Anthony Schatz.
Whoever created the fictitious profile, Anthony Schatz, solicited nude images of juvenile girls and attempted to meet juvenile girls as well.
For more than 2 years, you never thought we would shift gears to a different investigative strategy, but we have. We likely have interviewed you or someone close to you.
They don't know what they're doing still. They're kind of just circling around the same thing and nothing. There's not really been a lot of movement in the case. I mean, I've had conversations with police. I've spoken with private investigators, but most of the people that I've spoken with have basically said there's not really a whole lot they can do, considering the police won't release information.
The man arrested in the murders of those two teenage girls in Delphi, Indiana. That suspect is 50-year-old Richard Allen. Police have charged him with the 2017 murders of 14-year-old Liberty German and 13-year-old Abigail Williams.
Attorneys for the man charged in the case say it wasn't him. Instead, he says the girls were sacrificed as part of a pagan ritual. Richard Allen accused investigators of ignoring critical evidence from the state last October. His attorneys.
And I think he's telling the truth. I think that this Richard Allen guy, maybe he's feeling remorseful now. He was definitely a part of it. Or maybe he was the fall guy. I don't know, because I'm pretty sure he was I'm pretty sure that he was when they got him, he had like, I think the missing girls flyers on his refrigerator or something, or articles about it. I don't know. I don't know everybody's part. This is just me assuming, but he had some part of it. Maybe he's feeling remorseful now. Maybe he's feeling like, well, I'm not going down alone for this. I mean, you know, there was more people involved than just me. I'm not going down alone. But anyway.
Attorneys blame 4 other people for the murders. Prosecutors say Allen confessed in a prison phone call to his wife.
Hey, everybody. So before we head tonight to the bridge to investigate what may have happened out there to Libby and Abby, I want to
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys that they actually do go there, and they have some, like, okay, they're not sure, they don't try to contact the girls. That would be disrespectful. But they go there and just use their cunning stuff and ask questions, and just, I don't know. It's, you know, I take it with a grain of salt, that kind of stuff. But it fascinates me because I am a firm believer in energies and all of that. I mean, not a believer. I mean, energy is real. But, you know, spiritually wise and whatever. But yeah, they actually do go to Delphi, to that bridge, and late at night, I'd be scared out of my mind. But I would do it if I had some friends with me. I wasn't by myself.
cover some developments that have occurred in this case very recently. Some really interesting, pretty disturbing stuff. I've got some pictures to show off. We're sitting in our hotel room here, just waiting to, we're going to go get dinner after this and then head to Delphi. But first, I'm just going to run you guys through a little bit of the case. So right here, this is Abigail Williams and Libby German. These are the 2 young girls who died that day, and whose investigation we're focusing on this evening. So basically, in February of 2017, on February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day, we're almost going to be there on the anniversary tonight, Libby and Abby went water this case down because there's so much detail here. And if you want to listen to our podcast about it, Murder in America, we covered this story in extreme depth. So that day, these 2 girls went hiking in a nature preserve area in Delphi, Indiana. Nobody thought that this was suspicious at all. These girls, I mean, there were no red flags. It's an innocent town. I mean, Delphi is a very small community. But these 2 went out to an area called the Mononhigh Bridge. Let me get to this picture. 2:07 p.m. on February 13th, 2017. Libby, or Liberty German, posts this photo on her social media, which shows Abby walking across that high bridge. And that's the last that anyone would ever hear from the girls. And this is the eerie photo taken just moments before these 2 were abducted and murdered. So obviously this is a little bit concerning right away. Later that evening, Libby and Abby don't come home. Their parents can't find them. Everyone's freaking out. They know that this picture was posted, so they know this is the last place they were.
Very scary situation right now, and I just want her home.
All right, an update now on our top story. Those two missing girls in Carroll County. The sheriff's office and members of the Delphi area.
Sorry, I'm skipping the news part. We already.
But when that family member arrived, the girls were not here. They weren't answering their text message right away.
Well, here's the news part again.
The social media things, picking up, looking at Facebook. Has she talked to anybody, or have the girls been talking with anybody, Snapchatting or whatever the kids do today back and forth, and really didn't find anything. The last message I think we found going out was like at about 2:30, which was a Snapchat of a picture of them out there.
See, this is why I don't like Snapchat. I use it to do my little shorts, as you see, because sometimes I'm not looking the best and I need to throw a filter on it, and it's very easy. And I use it to make my shorts and little couple minute long videos on here. That's what I use. Other than that, I do not use that shit because it's full of fucking creepers. Please, for the love of God, don't let your child have fucking Snapchat. Please. It's weird. Every guy, okay, listen. As we all know, I'm a single lady. There is a feature on Facebook I've told you guys about. It's a dating thing. And I go on there and, swipe right, swipe left, interested in chatting with and getting to know. Let me tell you, when probably a good 80-85% of them add me on Snapchat. Snapchat. Do you have Snapchat? Add my Snap. One guy's reply to me, literally, this is how it was. He said, hi. I said, hello. He says, Snapchat, and then has his Snapchat name. And that was it. Literally. That shit gives me weird vibes. I don't like it for any other purpose besides making my little videos or whatever. Please be careful. Don't let your child have Snapchat. Now, if they're a fucking teenager and you can't really control that, be wary. Just have a talk with them, communicate with them, something. Like, I'm not blaming no parents for anything because absolutely this is not their parents' fault at all, by far, at all. But I really wish parents would monitor their teenagers and children's phones a little better. Some do, but some don't. I'm not being a bitch or nothing, but I'm telling you, my nephew, he's 12. He has a phone, but it's linked up to my mom's, and his old one was linked to my mom's. His new one is linked to his parents' phone, so they can see everything that he does on his phone. That's how it should be. Basically, all he does is watch videos on YouTube, and that's pretty much it. Sometimes he'll text me and my mom and be like, hey, what are you doing? Can I come stay the night? Or call and be like, hey, what are you doing? Can I come stay the night? But that's about it. Or text his parents, if he's here. Or his parents can get a hold of them if, they can't get a hold of one of us, which would never happen, but just saying, hypothetically speaking. Please, for the love of God, I'm going to skip past all this news shit. Shit. Here comes an ad. I hope the a couple times, but nobody's came in the chat. So I hope the sound is okay.
Is the person responsible for the murders of these two little girls?
Then address the murderer directly.
Right?
Only a coward would do such a thing. We are confident that you have told someone what you have done.
Yeah, account they say could be connected.
So that's the suspect in the murder. This has been for years the guy who they were 100% convinced was the killer of Libby and Abby, obviously because he was ordering them to go down the bridge, down the hill, and it's a suspicious looking man right before they were found dead. Obviously, this guy's connected. So this is a sketch of the man that for years, this was the only thing that people had to go off of. There were tons of theories coming in from across America. People were submitting tips.
Just a theory, just me thinking. I bet you the girls probably asked that this fake account, this Chomo with the hot boy picture that was on there. He probably said, "Meet me here, and whatever, we can hang out." And hang on, I'm getting situated here. And the girls probably went there and they seen this guy and they're like, "Hey, have you seen this? Have you seen a boy or whatever?" And he probably was like, "Oh yeah, over there down the hill or whatever." See, this was calculated. I think there was many things here. There was the gross Chomo guy with the fake profile of the hot boy with his freaking abs out to lure them girls. They're teenage girls. Come on. I was a teenage girl once. That would definitely lure me in. "Hey, you girls want to come hang out over here? Want to be over here? Come hang out." "Okay. Mom, can we go and go hiking on the bridge? Blah, blah, blah." "Oh, sure. Drop you off." Oh, I think it was one of the girls' sister that dropped them off. And was like, "I'll pick you up later." And they're like, "All right." And they're all excited because they get to meet this boy, Bet. And they were probably Snapchatting him. And see this guy walking. "Hey, have you seen, we're here looking for our friend. Have you seen him?" And he was probably like, "Oh yeah, down the hill there. Go down the hill." Just my thoughts. This is just me thinking.
There were people of all different races being submitted for these tips, people from different countries, like thousands of tips were coming in, but nobody could figure out who this guy was, even though eerily enough, they had his voice on the camera, they had his outfit, his face, his body stature, everything had been captured, but they didn't know who this man was. He's definitely connected. Now, something that's interesting is that there was another sketch that was produced that looks vastly different than that sketch. I'm going to put that on screen now. Nobody's ever really been able to explain the discrepancy between
You want
these
to know why it looks different? Because it's a different person. There was more than one person. Okay, now there's three people. I don't know. There are some similarities between that guy. Maybe it's his son. I don't know. Does this guy have a son? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, you guys. But that right there tells me that there was more than one person.
two sketches, but I think it's just an interesting side note in the story. So for years, nobody had any leads on who killed Libby and Abby, and this was nationwide news. It still is. And while the case to this day hasn't officially been solved, the trial has yet to happen. In 2020, this man was arrested who lived
the Chomo dude with the fake profile, pretending to be a hot boy.
our podcast, Murder in America, we devoted an entire 3.5 hour long episode to the Kagan Klein transcripts because this guy was a predator, an internet predator from children. He used a fake social media profile called Anthony Shots. He would friend minors and then befriend them and start talking to them, get them to send him nude photographs. And obviously this guy was a sick, sadistic pervert. But what ended up happening is his home was raided in 2020, but investigators found that before the murder, this guy, Kagan Klein, had been messaging the girls on one of their social media apps. So there was a direct correlation between this guy, who was a known CP or child producer, and these two murder victims. So people thought this guy was involved in 2000 and brought him around crime scene areas and tried to find more evidence. And people thought that that was a major break in the case, that he was cracking and showing people some evidence, but nothing really came out of this. He was eventually sentenced to 40 years in prison, though. But I'm sure this guy knows more than he's letting on to.
Oh, definitely knows more than he's letting on to. 40 years? I'm sorry, but I feel like people who commit crimes against children, especially it's SA type crimes or anything to do with that, child indecent photographs or anything like that, I think they should get the harshest punishments possible. Just my opinion, and I know that's an opinion that I share with many others of you people out there. You will agree. I know.
On to.
This evening, a Miami County judge sentenced Kagan Klein to 43 years in prison in a child solicitation case. Fox 59 was live on the air moments after he learned his fate.
Here comes Kagan Klein down the steps of the Miami County Courthouse right now. He's on his way, and of course, he made his opinion well known just now.
Yeah, you saw that there. Investigators say Klein communicated with Libby German through a fake social media profile right before she and Abby Williams were killed in Delphi.
Klein is still in the Miami County Jail on those unrelated charges. And now he's talking on camera for the first time, acknowledging the Delphi investigation in a jailhouse interview with CNN.
Why do you think investigators are putting so much focus on you right now?
I was the last person to talk to her, is what they've told me.
Klein says investigators haven't threatened any charges against him for Abby and Libby's murders. And while he's admitted to creating the Anthony Shots profile to get inappropriate pictures, he says that's where the crime ends.
Were you ever trying to meet these girls in real life that you were talking to?
No, never.
Did you have anything to do with the murders of Abby or Libby?
Not at all. And I gave up my DNA, a hair follicle test. I've done everything they wanted me to.
But we need to get to one of the most recent developments in the case. So in 2022, 5 years after the murders, this man is finally arrested. He's a local from Delphi. His name's Richard Allen. Now, there's a lot of suspicious evidence, 100% linking this guy to the crime. For example, one of the main things prosecutors are using is a bullet that was found at the crime scene that has been linked to a gun that he owns. They said that this unspent bullet had passed through the pistol that Richard owns, which obviously is a direct link to the crime. He also confessed to his wife allegedly on prison phone calls that he committed the murders and he killed Libby and Abby.
I don't think that he necessarily did it. I think maybe he was feeling responsible for it, which he should, because I believe that he was involved. But I don't necessarily think that he himself did it. Did the act. He could have. I don't know. I don't know. This is just me assuming. Again.
Of Delphi on 2 counts of murder is sure a major step in leading to the conclusion of this long-term and complex investigation. We are going to continue a very methodical and committed approach to ensure that if any other person had any involvement in these murders in any way, that person or persons will be held accountable.
So there's a lot to think about here. Did this guy take a look at these two? I mean, there is a correlation, 100%. He does really, really look like this guy. But I think the most interesting thing that we're trying to figure out, and like I said, there's so much nuance to this case. I would highly recommend you go listen to our Murder in America podcast. This is just the basics, but what we're focusing on here is some of the recent developments. So Richard Allen, last year with his attorneys while he was being held, he started to tell people that this, obviously he's claiming that he's innocent, that he didn't carry out these murders, but he claims he knows who did these murders, and he claims that they were part of a sacrifice to a Norse pagan religion, a conspiracy behind it, I believe. There's something weird. So the two men that Richard eventually goes on the record and names as the people who murdered Libby and Abby are Brad and Patrick. So these two are locals from Delphi. Remember, this is all alleged right now, so I'm not pointing any fingers at anybody. But Richard's attorneys found that at the very beginning of the police investigation into the murders, Brad and Patrick had been interviewed by FBI agents and police officers. They had gone on and done taped interviews. The police had records that these interviews happened. But when Richard and his legal team wanted to request those interviews and the copies of those documents, the police in Delphi said, we don't have them. And as it turns out, this evidence was destroyed. The initial interviews with those suspects was completely wiped by the police. Now, they claim that it was just a simple error, that it was an old DVR and they accidentally recorded over the testimony from those two suspects. But what Richard is claiming is that now, if you interview those guys, they're going to be able to get
Dang it.
Are you sick of having issues with your webinar?
God. Sorry. Anybody watching the playback? Oh, God, this is so annoying.
really straight for the record now that all this evidence has come out. And was dated, Brad stated that he'd never at first met the girl, and then later on he started to say that, oh, I met her a couple times. So his story's changing. There's a lot of weirdness. But what I want to point out, and the stuff that's coming out right now, is the positioning of Abby and Libby's bodies. So for years, the police said that they were found in a wooded area right by the creek, and that there were sticks put across their bodies in an attempt to hide the bodies. So when you would imagine a killer hiding a body with sticks, you'd imagine tons of sticks and they're covered from head to toe and they're actually trying to make an effort to hide these corpses, but no. So there's a recent leak of crime scene photos. The photos haven't been released and I wouldn't want to look at them anyways, but these are the sketches of what was displayed.
Right, same. I wouldn't want to look at him anyways either. See, this is why I like this guy, because he has decency. He's not desensitized like Robot Girl Annie Elise and many others will say. But that's why Christina Randall is my queen, because she still has decency and empathy. But anyway, but yeah, he made a good point. It's not like these sticks were thrown to cover bodies. They were placed in such a way, as we see here, it's very symbolic, like, we'll just say.
Played in the photos. Multiple people have seen these. These have been corroborated as being true. And as you can see, these red marks and these marks here they denote the sticks that were found on the bodies. Now, obviously, these sticks were not meant to cover either of these girls up. I mean, there's so much weirdness to this. So something disturbing about this is when they found the bodies of these two girls in these positions, Libby had no clothes on. She was completely, according to these documents, completely nude. But Abby was found fully clothed. She had actually been undressed by these killers or killer and then redressed. Abby was wearing Libby's pants and Libby's sweatshirt. The shirt under the sweatshirt that she was wearing was completely clean of all dirt and blood, even though she had been stabbed to death. She was wearing 2 bras and 2 shoes. So the killers in this case actually removed some items of clothing from the scene.
In my opinion, those were trophies or some kind of, I don't know, something to do with the ritual. They needed an article of clothing from the girls. You know what I mean? It's there's no doubt in my mind that this was a ritualistic type thing, but I mean, everybody's got different opinions.
Some people would say that's a trophy, like some killers would take.
Yeah.
A shoe was missing, a sock was missing. But that's not the weird part here. I mean, that's weird already that one girl was found undressed and the other had her clothing on. What's strange that people are pointing out is the shapes of these sticks, the aligning of the bodies, and how these could possibly relate to some sort of human sacrifice murder ritual. So Brad and Patrick, the two suspects.
All right. We're going to do a little something here. I'm going to see if I can. Hang on. Hang on, babes. Give me 1 second here. I'm looking up these symbols real quick. And I'm going to do a little comparison. I hope you can hear me. This is taking forever. All right. So I can't really see this. Let me click on this. Hey, Eric. Sorry, I just seen you. I'm trying to compare the way the girls, these sticks were placed on the girls to these runes. But my shit's being wicked slow. What is this? Strength? Creation, heart, luck. Okay, whatever. Oh my God, come on. Sorry, it's being so stupid. But here, share this tab instead. I want you guys to look at this here. As we can see here, we have this symbol is strength, wisdom. Oh, that's eerie. Luck, heart, music, I think. Music? I can't tell. Grace, youth, hope, creation, genius, I think it says, love, and energy. And these are just, a couple. It's so eerie. If you knew an expert with the AI image generation, you could maybe use AI to find the link. Oh, maybe, possibly, but ooh, these are kind of eerie. Now, keep these symbols in mind. I wish I could show you two at the same time, but I don't know if I can. I think I might be able to. All right, so I'm looking at these side by side. I'm looking at how these sticks are placed. I'm looking at how the bodies were placed. It's so, look at that. Okay, memorize those. Look at them. And now I'm going to switch over to our YouTube video and tell me this ain't eerie. Look at that. Tell me that ain't eerie. Symbolism there.
Suspects that
might not
the guy who was
necessarily
arrested
be the
said
symbols
killed
that we
Libby and
looked
Abby in
at,
that murder
but
ritual.
tell me that
Brad and
doesn't have some
Patrick
kind of
are known by
resemblance.
the FBI. An official document states that they're affiliated with a magical religion of sorts, which would lead
Let's continue
to this theory. And search warrants that were actually written out and issued early on in the investigation for those two's phones stated that they had an affiliation with a religious sect, that their phones might contain evidence. And they even stated on the search warrants that these murders, that there may be religious evidence of some sort of religious murder on these guys' phones. But it's unknown whether they actually executed that search warrant or not. But what people think these two guys are involved with is a thing called Odinism. So Odinism is an ancient, heathen, pagan, pre-Christian religion. It's a Nordic religion, and this is a religion that in the last couple of decades, and I mean stretching back all the way to World War II, has been heavily tied to white supremacy, to domestic.
Which I mean, I guess because it'd be a mainly white person religion, I guess. I don't know. Were there other colored Viking? I don't know. I don't know how it all of a sudden became tied into white supremacy or whatever. I don't know how that happened, but people were stupid. So, you know,
He was a known professed Odinist.
you know what's
He actually
funny?
nicknamed his handgun after
These
a lot of people
people
that
are
practice this in
ties
America.
to like
But
I don't know, would it be Norway, Sweet, like I don't know, to that region. They could be fucking. I'm like Scottish and German and English, and I think there's a little bit of Native American in there somewhere. I can't remember. But yeah, it would be ridiculous for me to practice Odinism or anything like that because I have no ties. I have no blood tracing back to that. So why? You're stupid.
of these gods, these warrior gods, and even stretching back to Norse times, back in countries like Denmark. In Denmark, there's a place called Onskjold, which actually took its name from the name Odin. And at Onskjold, they would make these Odinistic sacrifices, and these sacrifices involved hanging people. Most of the time, men were hung upside down, women were hung upside down by their
And the
toes.
horns, like she had like twigs above her head, like horns. That's creepy.
But modern Odinism, the worship of these Norse gods, involves going out into the woods. These members go out and practice these rituals, and oftentimes they commit in the form of animals. But there have been also cases where humans have been murdered, and that's why they think that the murder of Abby and Libby is tied to this Odinism, and it was a human sacrifice. It's specifically because of these sticks. So here's a mock-up of what the sticks would have looked like on Abby's body.
Okay. That one, this one in particular, looks a lot like that one in particular looks a lot like this strength. This one up here in the corner. I'm pointing at it like you can see it. But it looks a lot like this one right here. The other one, I don't know. I'm not quite sure. It doesn't really look like any of them on this list, but there could be more. But anyway, let me look here. Sorry. I'm looking, I'm trying to compare. I don't know. But that one in particularly looks like that strength ruin. This one, I don't know.
according to the official documents. If you told me that these sticks were being used to cover up a dead body, I would laugh at you because there's no coverage. There's nothing that's being done here. I mean, these sticks, these sharp lines and angles are obviously placed with intent and purpose to send some sort of a message. And I implore you to take a look at the sticks that were found on Libby. You see the exact same thing. Straight lines, sharp angles, obviously in some sort of a symbol that people are trying to figure out what it is right now. But it's pointing to, I mean, to a lot of people that this may have been a ritual. Actually, I'm going to play you a clip right now.
Okay.
A woman who was consulted.
Let me rewind that back. I know this is probably annoying. I apologize.
Here's a mock-up of what the sticks would have looked like on Abby's body, according to the official documents. If you told me that these sticks were being used to cover up a dead body, I would laugh at you because there's no coverage. There's nothing that's being done here. I mean, these sticks, these sharp lines and angles are obviously placed with intent and purpose to send some sort of a message. And I implore you to take a look at the sticks that were found on Libby. You see the exact same thing. Straight lines, sharp angles, obviously in some.
All right. Now let me compare, and then I'll pop it up. Let me go over here. Let me pop this up. Let me see if maybe I can. So this one right here, kind of resembles I don't know, kind of resembles the youth in a way, or wisdom. This one, oh, this is more accurate. Okay, this is, see, I'm thinking these are two different. This is a more accurate. Okay, gotcha. I'm like, oh, this one, I'm stupid. So the first one was strength. It looked like it resembled the strength one. This one, I think, here, let me pop this up, kind of resembles the youth one in a way. Or maybe, I don't know. It doesn't really look like exact. The other one looked exactly like the strength one. It was pretty, yeah, but I don't know. Let's see if any more pop out. I could sit here and look at these all day and be like, okay, this looks like this, that looks like that. Bind runes. What is this? Spiritual growth, friendship, youth, love, health, good luck, strength, travel, grace. Oh, sorry, somebody. No, it's, wow, this is kind of, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I like speculating and I like using my brain. I think it would be hard to make an accurate symbol if you were in a time crunch with a limited selection of sticks. Yeah, true. But see, that's the other thing that this guy touches on is some of the sticks were like kind of like cut. So maybe they were pre-done before they went there. I don't know. I don't think really they were pre-done. Maybe at the time, yeah, they were, you know, maybe somebody brought a pocket knife so that they could like whittle them out real quick. But yeah, that's true. It would be hard to make an accurate symbol if you were limited with the time and didn't have, you know, you had a limited selection. Right. You might have to ignore parts or pieces of the sticks. Right. That is a valid observation. That is very valid. But I do want you, I'm going to play this some more because I do want you to hear when he talks about that though. Oh my God, his fingernails are very, does he bite his fingernail? I do too. I can't say nothing. I do too.
Some sort of a symbol that people are trying to figure out what it is right now, but it's pointing to, I mean, to a lot of people that this may have been a ritual. Actually, I'm going to play you a clip right now. A woman who has consulted for the United States government many, many times over the years, and her specialty is ritualistic murders, like satanic murders, stuff like that. She's gone on the record and said that the murders of Abby and Libby have every benchmark of a ritualistic murder. For example, the murder took place out in nature, where a lot of these ritualistic murders happen. They took place near a body of water, the river, where a lot of ritualistic murders happen. They, instead of using a gun like the perpetrator had in the video, they used some sort of a sharp object to actually personally stab the girls to death. That's evidence of a ritualistic murder. Then she points out all of the sticks, the way the bodies were positioned.
Ritual murder expert and author of Investigating Religious Terrorism and Ritualistic Crimes, Dawn Perlmutter, is with us.
Well, I just have to emphasize that I did not observe any of the photos. I only have the information that I read in the descriptions. But I can tell you from what I've read, this is a classic ritual murder. I've worked on dozens of these types of homicide cases. Ritual homicide involves acts that go beyond the actions necessary to conduct the crime or elude the police. This is not a counter-forensic measure. You don't do all of that just to hide the body. It has all of the elements. It has symbols at the scene. What you're not taking into account when they're looking at the shapes of these branches. And by the way, ritualistic crimes are typically outdoor crime scenes.
Eric, that is smart. All of the nasty, cruddy, germy nastiness underneath your nails. Ew. That's so gross. And I never think about that. But I am a serial nail biter. Oh my gosh. If my nails get even slightly, oh. That's why I put fake nails on all the time. I have to because I'm a nail biter. It's horrible. But yeah, that's my hat's off to you, Eric, because I don't think about all the nastiness under. I never think about it. Maybe I should start thinking about it more. Jeez. Anyway.
Because they're nature-based ideologies. But when you're looking at the symbols, you need to account for the shape of the body underneath it when you're interpreting it. You're not just looking at the sticks. It can be the entire thing, and it has meaning to whoever did it. I really do not think it's random. The other thing, obviously the cause of death is significant. In ritualistic crimes, you do not get gunshots. They're always typically knife wounds. And there's always things that are done with the blood. And in this case, obviously a second, what was on the tree.
Yeah, there was blood on the tree. And also, the girls didn't have, like, they were drained of blood. I feel like maybe these guys took their blood as part of the ritual. You know what I mean? I don't know if they do anything weird. Oh God, I don't even want to think about it. It's so gross, but oh no. Ew, that's horrible, Eric. Hey, at least you learned a valuable lesson. Ew, that's awful. Oh my God, I'm so gross. I pick my nails. I don't spit it across the room though. I bite them and then I put it in like a little pile and then I throw it away in the trash. So I promise you I don't like bite and spit them across the room. Ew, that's horrible. Anyway, all right, let's keep listening to this lady. This is fascinating though.
It seems that this was not random at all. Body positioning is very significant. And as I said, it will have some meaning to the person who did it. In terms of Odinism, which I'm very familiar with, it would be consistent with racist Odinism, which is very popular, has been popular among neo-Nazi skinheads and prison gangs since the late 90s. In fact, there's many groups right now that are taking it to the next level. We have a blood tribe leader who has runes tattooed on his face that translate to son of Wotan, which is one of the also known as Odinism. So you'd have to know what type of ritual. Again, if it's not somebody connected to one of these organized ideologies, it could be something they're just inventing in their mind. But it could also be, you don't know if it's an initiation, if it's sacrificial. There's a lot of different types of rituals that are done. No, that it's quite possible and plausible. I mean, there are groups like this that not only ritually murder, they ritually rape women. They're active. They could be doing it in other places.
That's one thing. That is one thing that I haven't really been clear. I haven't got a clear, hiccup thing on, is if the girls were SA'd. I really hope they weren't. But I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. But as far as I know, that had nothing to do with anything. But like I said, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. Anyway.
Places. I guess what I'm trying to say is this does happen, as bizarre as it sounds. There are ritual murders, and a lot of these racist Odinists are growing. They are recruiting, and they're part of this like warrior tribal. They identify.
Oh no! Damn it! Oh, this is so long. I don't know if we're going to get through it all today. We might have to finish this tomorrow. Cause I'm not like these other people. I can't sit on here for hours on end and, do this shit.
It's very plausible.
And I do have to point out what a lot of people have talked about is the connection between tarot cards and the positioning of the girls' bodies. Now, obviously, you can see the relation between the magician right here. So Libby's body right here, this is how Libby was found. She looks a lot like the magician tarot card. I mean, the arms outstretched, the same positions here. But what's really freaky is, but what's really freaky is how Abby looks like the hanged man. I mean, just take a look at the similarity between the arms right here, the hanging sort of thing, the crossed legs.
Do tarot cards have any correlation with Odinism, or is this something that people are making up? Is this a group of people? I don't know. I can't necessarily say all men, because who knows? Is this a group of people who are making their own rituals up just out of their, like combining different shit together? Because how does tarot like incorporate with specifically? You know what I mean? I don't know. Must have the wrong idea about how much time the whole event took. Essay and placing sticks and all that. How long would that take? Yeah, like that would be an all-nighter type of thing. But also, again, like I said, I don't think essay has been at least not to the public, that, you know what I mean? But yeah, huh. It makes one ponder, huh? Could be like a Dungeons and Dragons type role play thing. They use cards and stuff that is completely original and made up. Yeah, like some kind of, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's like they're incorporating different things here. I don't know, man. It gets my wheels a turning. It gets my brain going. But let's see. I'm gonna watch a little bit more of this with you, Eric, and whoever watches the playback. And then I'm gonna jump off here though, because my brother is coming by at some point today. I have some clean clothes for him because he had some dirty clothes in the laundry and he didn't have a washer and dryer yet. So I washed them up for him. And so he's going to come some point today after he gets off of work and grab those real quick. So I'll probably visit with him for a minute. Anyway, let's watch a little bit more of this. All right, Eric. Thank you for coming in. But yeah, definitely watch the replay. Definitely watch the replay.
And then if you look at this tiny little detail down here, these are sticks that were found around Abby's head. Now, according to people that have actually seen these crime scene photos, these sticks that were placed around Abby's head look a lot like either horns or some sort of a crown, which is, once again, sounds like some sort of a Odinistic, ritualistic sacrifice. I mean, there's so many strange things about how this all went down. And to remind you, the FBI immediately after the murder said that this looked staged, like the girls had been murdered somewhere else and brought to that area and set up specifically to look like this.
A sealed search warrant obtained and revealed through a podcast shares grim details about the crime scene and the police interest in the man who owned.
Yeah, because there was no blood and they were drained of blood. So were they abducted, taken somewhere else, and things done to them, and then they were taken back there where they were abducted and staged like that? Maybe it's staged to be a ritualistic thing to make people, you know what I mean? That's a possibility too. But anyway, this is the guy who owns the property that they were found.
The property where those two teen girls were found.
Back in March 2017, 13 News was there when FBI searched Logan's property. We also spoke with him multiple times, and he even walked us back to the crime scene.
I can't really wrap my emotions around it. It's just so mind-boggling. I haven't really caught up. It hasn't caught up with me yet.
But recently, the podcast Murder Sheet obtained the sealed warrant. In the request, the FBI agent wrote, "I believe there is probable cause to believe that Ronald Logan has committed the crime of murder, and the evidence of that could be found on Ronald."
I don't know about all that. I don't know. I mean, it was done on his property, or, you know, they were found on his property, but that doesn't mean that he did it. But anyway, you guys, okay. What's the we're 41 minutes in. We'll finish this tomorrow. Yeah, we'll finish the rest of this tomorrow, but we did get through a good bit of it. But anyway, yeah, we'll get this. We'll look more into it tomorrow or whenever. Because I do want to show you guys the part where they go to the bridge and, you know, whatever. So anyways, I'm going to jump off here, babes. Like I said, I can't be on here for hours and hours and hours at a time like some of these people do. I just can't do it. I got things to do. I like staying busy. And if I were sitting here for, I mean, I have before, you know, but most of the time when I've been on here for more longer than an hour or two, it was because I was, I don't know, either at my brother's, bored, or had nothing else to do, and I got some other things to do. But I love you guys. Eric, thank you for coming in. Anybody who watches the playback, thank you. Thank you for your time. It's very much appreciated. Cash App tips, extremely appreciated. The channel isn't monetized, and those are going towards me making, filling, rather, or making, whatever you want to say, my nieces and nephews' Easter buckets this year. So any Cash App tips, that's what that is going to, and I will gladly take video and show you guys that. If you don't feel comfortable, or if you don't have Cash App, go to my community page. I have a Walmart wish list that has a bunch of stuff for the kids on it. You can pick them out some stuff and it will get shipped straight to the house, or you can, I have a few things on there for Poppy and Luna, the cats, the kitty girls. If you would like to give them a little something, you can also do that too. They would very much appreciate it. I'll be sure to make a video so that you can see that it was received. Also, I'm very transparent. I'm very honest and genuine. And if you don't know that already, stick around, get to know me, and you'll see, baby. You'll see. I love you guys. I wish you all health, wealth, success, and happiness, and blessings and protection over you all. And always remember, your time is the most valuable thing that you could give to anybody here on YouTube or in your real life. So be picky about who you give it to, okay? We can make more money every day. They print more money every day. We can make more money, but we can never make more time for ourselves. So don't give anybody who doesn't deserve it your time, okay? We'll talk soon, babes, and we'll watch more of this video, okay? Love you. Bye.